So today I'm in the jungle at a waterfall actually, and I'm going to be going over some phrases and idioms all about plants and the forest pretty much. So let's get started. Of course, to get to the waterfall I'm going to have to get over these boulders, or rocks if you want to call them that. So I guess I'm going to have to stop recording and continue when I'm over these boulders. So I've made it up those boulders, those rocks. It was quite a hike, and they can be a little bit dangerous. They are a little bit slippery since it's been raining, and of course you have the river water going all over them. And there is actually moss on the rocks, which makes it extra slippery. So before I start giving you some idioms and phrases, I'd like to show you the area around this place because I think it is quite beautiful. As you can see, we have a little pond here, which is actually quite deep, and a little waterfall, which always seems to be filled with water. Now, this is the moss that I was talking about. Sometimes when water goes over it, it can make the rocks a little bit slippery, so I have to choose the right rock to step on when I'm getting over that place. Now we have some stairs going up. I might actually walk up them and see what's up there. So as you can see, just below that waterfall there is a rather dark color, like dark blue. I guess the water there is very deep, and it gets a little bit more shallow towards the rocks there. Continue going up. So I've made it to above the waterfall actually, and there is a little bit of a reservoir over there, and as you can see there are blue pipes surrounding this place because the village below this stream actually uses this water. I don't know what exactly they use it for, but they are using it. So it must be rather clean. As you can see, there are fallen logs around this place, so I really do have to be careful where I'm stepping. This is the waterfall I showed you before. This is the top of it, and it's going down that way. But if we look up beyond the reservoir, the waterfall continues way up there into the jungle actually. So first idiom I have that is related to trees actually and the forest is neck of the woods. So if you hear somebody say over at my neck of the woods, it's usually talking about the area in which that person lives. So for example, if I have a friend that hasn't seen me for a long time, I might message them and say, let me know the next time you're at my neck of the woods so we can catch up. So generally, of course, I live on an island, and maybe my neck of the woods would be this island or this location, this area in Thailand. So in that case, my friend would understand that this is my neck of the woods. This is the area in which I live. Now, another one also related to wood or trees is touch wood. So maybe when somebody is having a lot of luck, or if somebody else says something bad, maybe that person might say touch wood. Touch wood that my luck continues, or touch wood that bad thing doesn't happen. So literally, touching wood, maybe it's an old belief that comes from a long time ago in certain cultures that touching wood can bring luck or stop bad luck from happening. So when you hear somebody say touch wood, it is talking about luck. For example now, an example that I can use is I got over those boulders rather well and unharmed. Touch wood that I can get back over them as well without getting harmed. Another one relating to plants is a bed of roses. Now, when somebody says they are in a bed of roses, it's a very good thing. It means they are very comfortable. So just like a bed of roses looks beautiful and maybe is comfortable to sleep in, when we use it as an idiom, it also has the same meaning. As you can see around me, there are rather tall trees, actually many of them since I'm in the jungle. So it brings us to our next idiom, barking up the wrong tree. If you're barking up the wrong tree, it means you're wasting time. You're taking a direction or you're doing something the wrong way, or you have the wrong idea. So it is a waste of time to be doing that. For example, that waterfall behind me is actually very slippery and very hard to climb without the right equipment. For me to try climbing that now would be me barking up the wrong tree, because I'm most likely going to slip and fall into the water below. So I'd be barking up the wrong tree. It'll be a total waste of time. The next one I have is to put down roots. Now, just like a tree has roots, just like these ones, humans can put down roots in a sense as well. What putting down roots actually means is to become established in a certain place and to pretty much settle there. So for example, if I am moving to Canada and I intend to live in Vancouver, I would need to put down roots in Vancouver. So I would need to get a house there, maybe become a citizen of Canada. So that would be considered as me putting down roots. Next one is can't see the forest for the trees. Now, we use this to describe someone who is very closed-minded. So they are not thinking outside of the box. If somebody is closed-minded or narrow-minded, they can't see the forest for the trees. For example, if somebody is always doing the same thing, or even though times are changing, maybe they have a business and they are not adapting to the modern world. They are still doing things in a sort of ancient way. They can't see the forest for the trees. They are not adapting. They are still being closed-minded. They are in for a hard time because of that. Now, next one is a very common one, and you might find yourself using it a lot. It is money doesn't grow on trees. So how we use this is for someone that spends too much money and is rather careless with money. For example, if I have a son who is always spending his money and never has money because of it, I might tell him, money doesn't grow on trees. You better start saving your money. Generally, we use it to tell someone that is not good with money that money is precious and it's very hard to make. So the true meaning of this is money is hard to make. Next one I have, relating to families but still using trees and nature in general, is the apple never falls far from the tree. The meaning of this is children sometimes can inherit traits from their parents. So we use it for children who are very similar to one or both of their parents. The parents being the tree and the child being the apple. For example, if you meet someone whose voice is exactly like their father or mother, you might say the apple never falls far from the tree. They are very similar. Last one, of course, you can see I'm surrounded by a stream here, a pond and water that continues in between those rocks. Now, the last one is to test the waters. So if you're testing the waters, you're trying something very carefully. Now, this water behind me is actually very deep. And if I were to go inside of it, I would want to check exactly how deep it is. That will be testing the waters. This idiom can be related to almost anything in our life that we have to test before really diving in. So for example, if I wanted to open a business in another country, I might start off small. I might test the waters first, just to see how it is and if whether or not it is risky for me to do business in that country. Now I must go since I am actually getting eaten by mosquitoes. But thank you for listening to me today, and see you next time.